welcome into Fox Carolina Tailgate. I'm Beth Houle, joined by Corey Miller and Patrick Sapp for another season of college football. I am really looking forward to this season, not only on the football field, but right here in studio as well. You guys, thank you so much for coming back. We want to reintroduce our experts. We have Corey Miller, South Carolina Hall of Fame.
That looks, what a great shot. I mean, you know, it represents me with the, you know, the gray beard, a little black in there. Looks good. Whoever did the graphics, you know what? Kudos. You've been working at your game.
You look presidential right there.
Listen, I might be the best. Let me leave it alone. I'll leave that right there.
Corey, for the folks that might not know you, or those that do know you, what should they know about you this season?
This season, I'm very open. I'm very honest. I'm very direct. I speak the truth. I'm a preacher. The gospel comes from me. Know that. True gospel.
All right, on the other side, representing Clemson, we have Patrick Sapp,
my man.
Former Clemson quarterback, linebacker, professional career as well, and son who plays on the Clemson Tigers this year as well. Patrick, what should the people know?
Very presidential, as you can see. You see my picture right there, man. That's a presidential candidate right there.
You look fantastic.
That's a picture that says, you know, DJ Uiagalelei is the first rounder. That's the picture. That's what I see.
We're already dropping receipts.
But I'm a straight shooter as well. You know, I really speak the truth about college football and this game. And, yeah, I'm a Clemson graduate, former Clemson player. Love the Tigers, but also, I'm objective about everything. So you're going to hear that throughout the year.
Well, I think from there we should start with the AP Top 25 from this season, released earlier this week. We've got Georgia coming in at number 1 right off the bat, defending national champions. Clemson coming in at 9. South Carolina, and I think that's where I want to start, just left off, but behind Texas Tech in like just missing, which I think is maybe more offensive than anything else.
So what you're trying to tell me, they're in the ARV, also receiving votes. That's what South Carolina is. But listen, this doesn't matter. I don't buy the rankings. Everybody got the top 25 and what they think. It's not how you start this race. It's about how you're going to finish. And South Carolina is one of those teams. Nobody thought that they'll have 2 top 5 wins last year. Coming up here, as I told you last year, they were going to beat Clemson. We got it on tape, by the way. They did that. They blew Tennessee out. Everybody's darling, right? The new girl in the hallway. We took care of that. So it doesn't matter about that right now. We're fine. Sleep on us.
But does it matter that there's still not that respect from those those big-time voters, those big-time riders?
No. Listen, we have a real schedule, unlike other people, right? We play real football. I mean, they have the hardest schedule in the country. They got to go on the road to Tennessee. They got to go, you know, to Georgia. They host Clemson and throughout the SEC. It's a hard schedule. On the road, I believe, to Texas A&M, a team that they beat for the first time. So it's hard, but that's why you go to this conference.
That schedule is incredibly tough, and it's without a doubt the hardest schedule. And I think this season will go, unfortunately, how it goes early on. Like that's going to set the tone for things because they've got Georgia and Tennessee real early in this schedule. And you can't overlook they're starting this season against North Carolina. That's not going to be an easy one either.
It's a border battle, right? Last time we went up to Bank of America Stadium and played, you know, North Carolina. You know, Shane Beamer got a big old tub of mayo dumped on him. That's what's going to happen again. And by the way, there was a guy that was MVP from South Carolina, DK, the carry-on. Listen, Joyner, now going to be the starting running back. Watch out. North Carolina, that's Drake May. We'll see. We are the real Carolina.
Here's what I'll say about the top 25. Yeah, I hear about it. It may not matter. But it's all about what's your expectations. So what are South Carolina's expectations? Playoffs, national championship, or just to be relevant, right? And so, to me, it does matter. It's hard to get to that Final Four being ranked outside of the top 25. It does, because Clemson starting at number 9. All right, you have a schedule. You call it weak, not strong, whatever you want to call it. But you win those games, you have a chance to finish in that top 4. And that's what it's all about.
Because the weak
it's all about winning. It's all about winning that national championship. It's always getting to that game.
So does South Carolina have those expectations? Do they,
Absolutely.
right now, walking into this, looking at their schedule, excuses aside, do they have the expectation of making the college football playoff this year?
Absolutely. If it's not, they have a problem, right? I don't want you on my team if you don't have those expectations. Listen, you go play the game. It's hard. We get that. But play the game. Again, I went back to last year. 2 top 5 wins. You didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming. They accomplished that. Go play the game. If they win with this schedule that they got, they're in. On the other hand, his team schedule, it's going to hurt them. Because when they look at strength of record, SOR, they're going to be like,
But if you win it all, you're
games,
in.
we're in.
No matter. It's the ACC.
We're in.
I love that there's no excuses going in. I love that there's no, oh no, we've got Georgia early. Oh no, I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
But I don't think you can shortchange Clemson. And if anything, my fire would be lit a little bit if I'm Clemson, because they're behind Florida State in that national ranking, and that's all I would be
So they're not
looking
the top
at.
team in the ACC?
No.
We're not. And that's an insult.
Right,
You know, but,
it should
but
be.
deservedly so, Florida State deserve to be recognized.
They
Now,
deserve
that
conversation.
High, I don't know. I don't think that's
What's
accurate.
Florida State rank?
I don't think they're better
They're
than.
just above them. They're number 8.
Yeah, I don't think they're better than Clemson. But hey, for that game, that matchup this year, hey, it's going to matter. It's going to matter a lot.
They're going
And
to play
so
each other twice. by the
that's
way.
going to be one of those opportunities for Clemson to, as you say, get one of those quality wins, right?
That would be
and that's
quality
right
win.
there in our conference.
And that's a big one at home for Clemson, too.
Yes, it will be. And so, yeah, they're going to have a chip. You know, Clemson beat South Carolina last year. They're in the playoffs. And so they understand that, know that. South Carolina spoiled it for us. But, hey, that's a part of the game. Learn Antonio Williams fumbled a punt in that game.
Where you from?
And
Originally?
he's right here.
No, he's from Columbia, South Carolina. That's
No,
high
he's
school.
from- he was
That's
from
what you get,
Greenville
Antonio
that
Williams.
lived-
When you do
that
that
moved
to
to
your home,
Columbia.
in your backyard, you come up here. That's what happened. See what happened to you? Karma.
But they're going to learn from that. You know they're going to put that X on the bulletin board, keep it in the locker room all year to count down to that game. But going into this season, those guys are ready. They're refocused. I think bringing in Garrett Riley gave some energy that was much needed, some creativity on that team. I've been out a couple of practices and scrimmages. Those guys are running around, having a great time on offense. And I can tell you this, he's drawing up some things in the run game and the passing game that I hadn't seen Clemson do in quite some years. So I'm excited about that.
Freedom is that word that they've been using when you talk to the
Give
players,
us
the
some
coaches about this offense.
Yeah, and you said, you know, Cave as the quarterback position has some opportunities to change some things on the backside of from the receiver position, change some routes. But it allows him to move the pocket, which we saw that early in his career. Very effective when he's able to move around and not just stand in the pocket. And his offense allow him to do that.
All right, well, coming up after the break, we have plenty more to talk about these two teams specifically. But first, we're going to get a look at this weekend's weather from Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent.